in Victory Lane. Nothing but celebration on top of the Goodyear building here. Confetti everywhere, and Jimmie Johnson standing next to the trophy on Sirius NASCAR Radio. Hey, congratulations.
Thank you. This is an awesome day for us. I've worked so hard, really over a decade now, to figure out how to race this track and to go fast and do what we need to. So to get it done, it's just awesome. I'm so proud and so happy.
Your crew chief pointed out that you really haven't been bad here. Now you've won it. So is this another one of your tracks now?
We'll see. Time will tell. I mean, we've always been able to survive. I shouldn't say always. In most cases, we've been able to survive this track. And if you do, and you have a straight race car, you can get some top 10s out of it and maybe a top 5, and we've been in that position. But the last 2 races here, we've actually raced up front with the leaders. So coming into this race, we had a good foundation of notes to work off of, a good feel from myself, and good rhythm for the track. And we've just been building, really, since last year, we found our way, and we've been building on it since.
You had said earlier in the weekend that you really didn't have your rhythm here. That was the thing that you were missing. Do you think you picked it up now? Is it something that just clicked?
Yeah, and what's weird here is it's such a small adjustment that makes a big difference. The track is so steep. The cars are very uncomfortable to drive. The concrete, the expansion joints in the concrete kind of shake the car, so you don't have a very good sense of what a fast lap is, and you just hear a lap time in your ear, and then you make a small adjustment and hope that it's better, and you get in this rhythm of things. And I think I was making too big of adjustments from the driver's standpoint, trying to find my way around when I really needed to make some real small, minute changes, which after you complete a quick lap here makes a 1/10 of a second difference at the start-finish line. And it's really been the small details that have helped me here lately.
When he got done with the race, Kurt Busch was shaking, trembling, angry. I mean, he said, anybody but Jimmie Johnson, I worked so hard, I didn't see him coming. He didn't see it coming that you were going to win this race. And it took almost everything in his being to sort of settle down after getting out of the car.
Well, he had a great race car. Those guys, we could keep pace with them on kind of a short to mid run. Then they started to pull us a little bit on the long run right before that last caution. And both his team and ours took 4, and I thought we were both dead in the water with the 4 tires stop and was hoping for a top 5. And once we got going, the 4 tires had so much more grip than the 2 tires that I was in the outside lane, and I thought, man, I've got a shot of this thing. So off I went, and it took him a little bit longer to get through. So he's a tough competitor. This is one of his best tracks. I think I learned a lot today following him, and too bad he's mad.
And that's racing. And that's racing at Bristol. And, you take a look at him not getting it. He's only going to want it worse next time. And that's what makes racing here great.
Yeah, he and that team are strong. And Roger Penske gives those race teams all that they need. I've been watching that 2 car get stronger and stronger over the years. And in the back of my mind, know that he's going to be a threat come chase time. And he's going to be tough to deal with. He's a great driver and good stuff.
But like you said, too bad, and you're in Victory Lane, and you worked hard for it, too.
Yeah, we definitely worked hard for it. We're very happy to be here, and we'll go to Martinsville and see if we can't get another one.
And how are you going to celebrate, finally?
I wouldn't have cared if it was 48 or a blank car. I was only mad.
No, I know he's best friend.
Steve Addington congratulating you. I bet that means a lot.
It does. Steve's an awesome guy. Grew up through the Busch ranks together, running together and stuff, and always been a friend, somebody I can count on and lean on and stuff. So, great racing today once again, and there's only one person happy after a race, and that's the winner. Everybody else is mad, and we're at another racetrack, so it's happened again.
And how are you going to celebrate?
I think cold beer is necessary after this. So you win on a short track, you need cold beer.
Congratulations, Jimmie.
Thanks.
Jimmie Johnson's going for a cold beer, and he earned it. Claire B. Lang. The celebration continues here in Victory Lane with the 48 team, Jimmie Johnson and crew chief Chad Knaus, who's flicking people on the butt with the Victory Lane towel. Come on, buddy.
That's just Christine Curley. It's okay. Her Jayhawks lost yesterday, so she's all down and out. And, she's upset. She was giving me a hard time. I guess the KU coach made some bad calls yesterday or something, so she's all upset. And she's like, you better not make calls like that today. So really this one's for Christine because she was so down and out all day. We wanted to try to pick her up.
That means a lot to her, I know. How about your calls today?
It was a tough day. We were really, really fast in practice yesterday, really happy with the Lowe's Chevrolet. And we knew that the potential was going to be there for some right front tire issues, and they were there. They showed up, and that was unfortunate. So we had to really rely on Jimmie an awful lot to explain to us what the car was doing. And we made some significant changes to the car today. We really did, and the guys did a good job on pit road. And that last pit stop, we were coming in second. Felt as though if we took 4 tires, we knew some guys were going to take 2. that we go out anywhere between 6th and 8th as long as we had a decent pit stop. And we had a decent pit stop, not a great one, and we went out 6th. So that worked out pretty well for us, and we got that outside line, and that was really the key. Being able to start on the outside right there of those guys with Kurt on the inside, we were able to get out there and get away from him. I don't think that he could have passed us once he got to us unless he'd have hit us, and we couldn't have passed him if he'd have been ahead of us unless we'd have hit him. So it was just going to be a matter of who got in front of who.
He was literally trembling after the race, throwing the water bottle down or the Gatorade. He was shaking because he didn't see you guys coming. He really never thought you were going to beat him. And I know that's really difficult, but Bristol lent itself to a really interesting end today.
We had a really good car, and we were riding behind him for a good portion of the day, really just trying to save our tires, make sure we weren't putting ourselves in harm's way. And obviously, if we'd have lost a tire like some of these other guys and ended up in the fence, then we wouldn't even be able to get a top 10 finish. So at this juncture of the game, you have to focus on top 10s, and then if the opportunity arises to take a shot at a victory, then you need to take advantage of that. But top 5s and top 10s right now are the key, and that's what we were shooting for today. And then the opportunity showed up for us to go for the victory, and Jimmie did a fantastic job driving the race car there, and we were able to pull it off.
Mr. Hendrick said no team works harder than this team. You traditionally haven't been good at this racetrack. Can you at all, without letting any secrets out, talk to people about how much you worked to be good at this race?
We've really worked on this racetrack for a long time now. People say that, but our last 4 races here, we've been really, really good, and just haven't had the finishes that we wanted for one reason or another. The fall race last year, we led all kinds of laps and had some issues on pit road there towards the end of the race and fell back and came back to finish, I think, 8th. Race before that, I think we finished 3rd. So we've been encroaching on solid performances here, and it's nice to be able to come to this racetrack. After what we had happen last week, for the first time in my life, I said I can't wait to get to Bristol. And we came in here with a lot of confidence and a lot of spring in our step and ready to go racing.
I think one of the comments was, it's not that he's not good here, just not Jimmie Johnson good here. Now maybe he's Jimmie Johnson good here.
Well, he's pretty damn good wherever we take him, I can tell you that. He's a fantastic race car driver. He does an incredible job of communicating to myself and the rest of the team of what it is that he needs in the race car. And I think that is what makes the difference. That's what allows us to make good calls and adjust the race cars to where we, if we do have a problem, and not every time, we don't always get it right, but he does a good job of leading us down the path.
Well, what about you making those decisions? That is the hardest decision to make because it's very difficult to come in and take 4. It's a really hard decision.
We're trying to get top 5s and top 10s, and that's what we're doing. Once again, if the opportunity arises where we can go for a victory, that's great, and that's what we did right there. We were going for a top 5, and no matter what happened there, we were going to get a top 5 finish, and just fortunately enough, we were able to get by those guys with 2 tires and pull off the win.
And what about your team?
They're just awesome. Extremely ecstatic. Ron Malik is all pumped up. I haven't seen him pumped up like this since we raced Matt Kenseth for the win at Texas a couple years ago. So he's really jazzed up, and the guys have really come into their own. They're accepting responsibility. They're taking a little bit of stock in what it is that they do and really feel a part of what we've got going on, and it's pretty cool. We've won 50 races in 8 years, or I guess 9, almost whatever, 8.5 years or whatever it is, and that's pretty amazing.
Congratulations on the win, Chad.
Thank you.
Chad Knaus here in Victory Lane. It's a huge